And you know what? I don't think I ever heard any of your brothers and sisters ever complain. Did you, Mom?
I didn't hear any.
No, it just wasn't in them. They were all self-sufficient. They were all like, well, this is how it is. You know, we'll work through that. You know, work will get me through this. But that's leaving the discussion for so many families and individuals these days. They all want to blame somebody else. There's no one to blame. There's just ground to gain. Move forward. Keep going.
Well, that's what you did.
Don't stop.
That's what your family did with this pilgrimage for Our Lady.
Well, it was. I wouldn't recommend it to anybody. If anyone came to me and said, "What do you think I ought to do?" I said, I would tell them still, run like hell. No one will blame you. You know, forgive yourself and run like hell. Because all you're going to get is death threats. You're going to get people want you to compromise. You're going to get all sorts of people want you to make deals about things that have nothing to do. Like the guy in the very beginning, old Bob had all kinds of money, and he was going to be like my big banker to do this whole project.
I remember that.
And he said, lose the Jesus shit, and I'm in.
Yeah, I remember you talking.
And I'm thinking, how do you lose the Jesus
know.
shit?
Right.
Jesus built this whole place.
Right.
It said you're not getting it. But he was thinking of it as a business. And I understand that, but this has never been a business. That everyone looks at you like it has to be a business, but this is not a business.
Well, no, I think the question with you was what would coincide if people would come with the children for these soccer and so on and so forth. Mm-hmm. This would provide a sufficient amount of income in order to keep the place at least physically and monetarily stable.
Yeah, open and keep.
Yeah,
keep
in other words, you can either do that or hopefully there would be some donations or something, but there would have to be some mechanism financially to keep it afloat. I guess nothing stays afloat unless there's, you got to pay lights.
Yeah.
You went through it.
But he saw the Jesus shit as being a detractor.
The problem, yeah.
And when he called it Jesus shit, I knew what I was dealing with at that point. And this guy who I thought was really gracious and other things just turned into like this sort of a demon presence.
Probably might have been. Who knows you were dealing with.
Well, it could have been. And maybe I was being tempted to
sell out.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure.
And to me, I just said, how can you not have that in here? Look around you.
Well, your experience, your family's experience in terms of historical apparitions, in terms of the people who.
Oh, we're so experienced too.
but I'm saying it's very different in terms of, and this one being the gold standard of all apparition sites, you know, being entrusted to you, to the family, and you were honorable towards the bishops. You went to the bishops, tried to get, you know, direction and so on and so forth. You did everything.
I was shut down and ridiculed.
But there you go. You know what I mean? What you want me to be Our Lady? You want me to be, you know, inclusive with the bishops and under their? Yet I go to them and look what they're doing. I mean, so.
Well, how much embarrassment, how much ridicule can I take?
Yeah,
or so should I take?
And these will bring you in to the National Shrine. In human terms, that doesn't look too good because they don't want to bring nobody to the National Shrine, let alone Our Lady of America. So there's this dissonance.
You don't hear anything about the National Shrine.
No, you don't.
You would think there would be like this. Do you ever hear anything about the National Shrine, Mom?
No, anymore. Not anymore.
Well, when they did before, did they used to have like big pageants and things like that there, or they?
Oh, sure.
Did they use it?
Things, yeah.
I've never seen anything.
John Francis Knoll was the one that saved that National Shrine.
He's the one that built it. Yeah, everything. But I've never seen like public events and things like that going on there. I mean, maybe once or twice they do
They have
mass.
them, but it's who's it under the control of?
Well, it's a backslapping pageant for the other cardinals and bishops.
There you go.
But it's not about for the people, for the national.
No, of course not. Neither is the Vatican. It's just a backdrop for what they're doing. And our Lord already said what they're doing, and he's going to dismantle them. He's already said it.
I mean, why can't we have a celebration of the families? You know, to celebrate the year, the decade of the family. concentrate on
Yeah,
families.
That's presuming you don't have misfits running the organization.
Well, but we got to deal with the misfits or move them out.
I say move them out.
Well, I do too, and I'm never.
I don't know how you do that. It's
Well,
like
we helped get rid of the guy down in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, and
Well,
he might be a good priest. People may love him. He's no pastor.
No,
he's
not.
damaging.
Well, you're
he's
very kind to
got to
say
learn
that about him.
Well, I don't want to take
Yeah,
anyone's
okay, that's
faculties
right.
away.
That's right.
But you don't belong in formation like that when you behave the way you've done. And I've seen the bad part of things, but it's the bad part of things that get hidden from the rest of the crowd, and that needs to be told. And I don't mind saying the hard truths, and I get death threats.
The Lord's going to
Am
dismantle.
I worried about it?
He's going to dismantle them. That's what he's going to do to them. You already
Well,
said it.
they might, but
Here, check the box. You're out. You're out. You're out. Okay.
St. Rita is happy to go. I'm ready. If it happens, if somebody wants to take me out,
Yeah. Who wouldn't? Right. Yeah. Want to go?
well, you need to be ready. And I know you're close to it. You have a few things to take care of. You still got some reservations. You got grandkids, but people need to know. You in this day and age right now, with all these demons out here, if you stand up for what you intend to stand up for, you could be taken out for it
Well, a couple
by
weeks.
someone else.
A couple weeks ago, you reveal that the Blessed Mother says more demons in the history of humanity have been released from hell.
Right.
2 weeks ago.
We're seeing them.
Now Charlie gets it. And before Charlie gets it, he wishes Mother Mary happy birthday on Monday, on her birthday, on the 8th of September. Huh?
Well, he declares her to be the cure for feminine toxicity.
And you had interaction with Charlie when he was younger and gave him a dance of Early to America?
Yeah, but I watch his podcast.
I mean, this is...
For somebody as old as he was to have that kind of maturity and wisdom only means that he delved into the classics and he absorbed.
Yeah,
His ability to absorb information was incredible. So
it was a blessing. It was a blessing, an anomaly that you would even meet this man in 2017.
I met some amazing people along the way.
I know
here.
that, Larry, but this is like
John Henry Weston, met him. He was going through troubles when I met him. But I met Cardinal Burke when he was going through his shit.
Yeah.
Probably still is. He's
Cardinal
still
George.
ostracized.
Cardinal George.
Cardinal George was. He came around. We had a lot of fun together, but he got real with me. He got down and
he humbled himself.
It was like when you go to play with your grandkids, you get down on the floor with them.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, Cardinal George, basically kind of got down in the mud with me.
Good.
Because I was angry, and he let me vent, but he knew I was right.
Right. And
I was right to be angry.
He was one of the ones that intervened for you or had somebody
right.
Yeah, he knew.
But he understood why I was angered, and he knew I was right to be angry.
He also knew that you covered his behind.
Well, I covered a lot of behinds.
In the church.
Because I knew, like I told him, I said, you didn't know shit anyway. I said, what are they going to get from you?
Yeah.
They're just going to waste your time and bother you. And he appreciated that. I wasn't being, disrespectful. I was being real.
Yeah.
And these guys appreciate that because most people aren't real with them.
Yeah. And you've had to do that with several of them.
Well, they always know my nose is not going up any bishop's butt.
Well, we try to
This
bring
nose
it
has not been there.
as straight as we can with as much knowledge or as little knowledge that we have at the moment.
Well, I think we asked some pretty fun questions, and I'm so happy that you read in St. Rita. She's going back and reading more of this again and diving into it. And I think, are you picking up anything more on the more recent passes, Mom?
Not yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they talk about the Magnificat and that St. Elizabeth repeats it. The Blessed Mother introduced it. And then you read that, and with St. Elizabeth now, almost as though they have like a ticker tape going, like the memory of it. Like you got, you have a certain capacity to take. Well, I've heard him talk about several stories, and it's almost verbatim. Boom, 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 boom. And for me, I'd be like stumbling and.
Well, the truth never changes.
I know that, but you have the capacity to consolidate it and then to present it succinctly in a way that's with precision and
No, because you
accuracy.
keep forgetting and you make me repeat it again. It's like,
Well, no, your son's got a gift. There's many gifts he has that are specific to him, and I've noticed them because I have certain gifts, but he's got some very profound literary capacity to express and to explain to you what happened and how it happened, and so.
well, I just don't want people getting a folklore feeling about this. And everyone, I think, when you get into these religious kind of things, everyone wants a great romance.
They want your they wanted your hip bones.
Well, they wanted my hip bones, yeah, when I was having that done.
Jesus, Larry, go, please.
No.
This is the Catholics. No.
Well, they wanted my hip bones. I said, oh, they're going to want you.
They want to make soup or something.
So I asked the doctors and said, yeah, I said, I got people want the hip bones. They said, oh, you can't have the hip bones. I said, they're my bones. Why not? Well, it becomes biohazard. I said, they're my bones.
Right.
You know, what
better hazard?
I'm not going to go make soup. I said, I'm going to go dry them out. Oh, you can't have your bones. So I asked for it, but it turns out you can get your body parts, but they just didn't want to go through.
Yeah, you're right. You didn't want them anyways, did you? No.
I thought it would have been kind of cool to put them in a jar and say, that's my hip. You could.
Yeah.
That's part of it right there. It'd have been kind of nasty to look at, but so I'm trying to think. So John has grown up, and then John is getting food. This angel is visiting him with 2 meals a day. Okay. And I wonder if he was able to order what he wanted, you know.
I don't know. Wasn't Blessed Mother involved also in caring for him? And I forget how she did that. Do you remember that piece of it, Saint Rita?
Do what?
How Blessed Mother cared for
John the Baptist when he was on his own.
No, she wasn't there at all.
So
Egypt.
did she send some angels or something from time to time?
Yeah.
I faintly remember that. Can you imagine having your 3-year-old, being in the desert or being alone? Lord, that's got to be faith.
Well, he might have been he might have been living with those people. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah, there were people around, so maybe he stayed with the help until the money runs out, and the help goes, and the house goes into disrepair.
That would be a right comment.
And then he's on his own, his teens or whatever. The dust storms come, and then he's really on his own.
Right. No, I think you're probably right.
And then he becomes like this loner, but he's also got this infusion of all this Holy Spirit.
Yeah. Imagine that.
That he's being guided with this download of knowledge.
And then to say that I'm not fit to carry his sandals is like...
Well, this guy didn't have faith. He had knowledge.
Right. Oh, yeah. He knew what was going on. Right.
So that's a big difference, because when he's marching out, he didn't have faith that Jesus was. He knew that Jesus was there.
Right. You wonder if they had conversations.
Telepathic?
Well, in Chosen, they have St. John and Jesus talking to each other, and I don't know if their interaction was very limited. Or if they had dialogue, you'd think they'd have dialogue. He had dialogue with his disciples saying...
Well, if it's with Holy Spirit and you got this way to communicate, by way of knowing.
No, you're right.
Like this packet of knowledge hits you.
Right, that's right. Yeah, so there is an intimacy already with them.
And I've had this happen with me.
In what way?
Well, in certain things, I have what we call teaching dreams. That's what I called them.
Okay.
Because I'd asked Father Havel about something at dinner, about a dream I had the night before. He said, where did you study your theology? And I said, I never studied theology. I said, I barely went to religion class. I said, I was a kid. And he goes, well, that's high-level theology you're talking about. He says, how did you come upon that? So I had a dream about it last night. And then I keep having these dreams. And he said, something's going on for you to be having these kind of, feelings.
Correct.
Perceptions
right.
that are so high level.
Did he answer your question?
Oh, yeah. He said, that's very high level theology. He says, I rarely have that discussion with other priests. So he's wondering why I'm asking it.
Did you get that information about the release of demons in a dream? Or was it different in terms of how it was revealed?
It was more of a locution,
Okay.
because I was awake.
Okay.
I was awake, had my coffee, and I was...
And boom, it came
Right.
out.
I've been meditating and thinking about everyone. You know what? When I pray for people, I'm just thinking of all the people that are on my list. You know, in general, I don't sit there and think about this person and say a bunch of prayers, you know, for him. I just think, please help, please help, please help, please help. You know, as my day, let my work today be an offering for these people. Please help them. You know, give them what they need at this time, because I don't know, but they do. But there's a lot of people around me are going through change or hurting and things like that, and I want to
Help them, yeah.
Right.
You have phone calls from people with concerns and things.
It's like the unclaimed graces. You know, that if always ask in your day, ask for the unclaimed graces that the Holy Spirit give them to you, that you can give them away. You know, to other people who come across you, that you can help give these graces away. Asking for the unclaimed graces, because God has an unimaginable amount of graces. He can always make more and give more. Everyone thinks, oh, there's nothing there for me. God can always make more. Ask for all the unclaimed graces. Overload my plate. I'm going to take it back and
Distribute.
give it to people. And I'll come back empty. You know, and I'll get more tomorrow. Yeah, I'll be back.
Salute.
Well,